Deacon Sakari. We back at it like a crack addict. They done let them bruise in the dough. In this wicked industry. Shine the light. They done let them bruise in the dough.
Hey,
Shit.
hey.
They done let them bruise in the dough. They done let them bruise
We
in
lit.
the dough.
We lit. We lit.
They done let them bruise in the dough.
We got one. We got one today.
Hebrews.
Hebrews.
Hebrews. Hebrews. They done let them bruise in the dough. They done let them bruise in the dough. Look, Joe Biden need to free
Dark Lord. The hell is wrong with dude?
No Alamolek, but I got perfect vision in the dark. I'm a lexicon, I'm a megalodon, all my verses ripping them apart. Mosaic law with the church is missing, it's the worst religion from the start. In my soul where the word is written out of circumcision of the heart. I'm rocking my fringes, I'm in Seattle, rocking like Hendrix. No industry gimmicks, you rappers the finish, I'm kicking the door off the hinges. Thorns don't like you sinless till you get the finish. You should have repented admitting this truth is illness, they loving the image. I know what happened to Kim.
What happened to Kim?
I keep my pencil on point, no sharpener. Used to weigh pounds of troll.
I lay down the flow like
carpenters. She causing division in the sisterhood. I'm marching on. I'm preparing the way for the harvester. I'm a harbinger.
Ooh, what a powerful breakdown coming up, proving Israelites are always going to be on top.
Popping perks, popping mollies, and putting powder in your nostrils.
Powder in your
We
nostrils.
be in the trenches, needles under benches. We be giving them the gospel.
We be giving them the gospel.
Keep 12 Sakari members with me. We be moving like a
We be moving like a pop.
Dead traps, hair wraps, but you feel the thought, though. The church don't even know the truth. They can even tell you an Israelite. They're selling you all the switches and the malt liquor are the Ishmaelites. You can show a nigga slave ships in the Bible, still won't get it right. Until the time's out.
Then the nigga gotta find out.
The missiles like.
Ooh, we got one today. We got one today. We got one today. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh. And we do so by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai. That is the name of the Heavenly Father, in the name of his only begotten Son, our dear, beloved, and precious King, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who shed his blood only for his people. Matthew 1:21, Isaiah 53 and 8-9, Acts 5 and 29, Hebrews 9 and 15, Hebrews 8 and 8, Matthew 15:24. I mean, must I go on? He shed his blood for his people, the Israelites, as the elders used to say, the Israelites. You guys see the title, man. Again, peace and blessings to the brothers and sisters in the chat. Peace and blessings to the brothers and sisters in the chat. I know people are like, yo, Deacon, what the hell is up with your title? Excuse me, Deacon, what the hell is up with your title? The water to Dale Bonds for the super chat donation. Crazy Natural Princess, the water again, my beloved. I know my brother Marcus G gave a super chat earlier. Greatly appreciate you for your continuous generosity. But I know y'all think this is clickbait. Everybody think this is clickbait. I know the Christians going crazy. They finna download this thinking it may be something else. They're going to download this. They're going to say, look what they're teaching. I know some Hebrew Israelite camps, they probably like, oh my God, Sakari's bugging out. Is Sakari really finna make the Israelite community look bad by bringing this out, by talking about this? Y'all don't know what it is, man. Y'all don't know what it is. Let me tell you, before we go into it, this will be proven. God has Africans prostituting for Israelites. This is a fact. God has Hamites, particularly the Canaanites, prostituting, getting riches, storing it up for the Israelites so that they can have the wealth and the riches. Now, spoiler alert. It's not the type of prostitution that you're talking about. It's not sex. Let's just read the verse in the Proto-Isaiah. This is gonna bring out so much information on who the Canaanites are, because you had the Latino onlys trying to say that niggers are Canaanites. Then you got the niggas saying that Latinos are Asians and Caucasians. So you got this back and forth feud proving we're both Israelites because we both got an evil eye. This is going to show who the Canaanites are today emphatically. But I want to show you guys this before we break it down in the Proto-Isaiah. I mean, I've never heard this breakdown in 14 years. And it is very difficult until the Holy Spirit gives you the understanding. So I want to read this. then I want to speak on it for a second and show you why I titled it like this. Now, this is Isaiah 23 and Isaiah 23 and 15. And it shall come to pass in that day that Tyre, these are the Canaanites, generally called Africans, biblical Hamites, shall be for Tyre, the Canaanites shall be forgotten 70 years. This number 70 is just for a complete amount of time, because nobody knows who they were or where they went. And they're not going under the name as Canaanite, and they're not in their original land because they got kicked out starting with Nebuchadnezzar and Alexander the Greek. Matter of fact, we got to do that. We got to talk about that. Zechariah 9. But let's go back here. Watch this though. According to the days of one king, after 70 years, shall Tyre sing as an harlot. What's a harlot? A prostitute. Now we're going to see, how is Tyre? How are these Canaanites being prostitutes? This is so deep, y'all better have your pens and pads. Verse 16. So we got Tyre, the Canaanites. They're being a harlot, prostituting, right? Verse 16. Take in heart, go about the city, thou harlot that has been forgotten. Make sweet melody, sing many songs that thou mayest be remembered. So they were known back then for being a maritime seafaring people. The Phoenicians, Tyres, Idonians, they were very opulent. All right. Now watch this. And it shall come to pass at the end of the 70 years that the Lord will visit Tyre. Now, no Christian or Hebrew Israelite who tries to deny this breakdown can show me anywhere in history where this took place, period. Watch this. It says, the Lord will visit Tyre, and she shall turn to her hire. She's going to become a harlot again. Watch this, y'all. And shall commit fornication with all the kingdoms of the world upon the face of the earth. There's nowhere in history where this has happened yet. But we're going to show you that it's happening now, and it will happen in the kingdom of heaven. Watch, I'm going to show you. Now, fornication is not always indicative of idolatry. Yes, spiritual fornication is idolatry, but fornication with the other kingdoms by itself is just dealing with unrighteous barter and trade. And that's exactly what the Canaanites are doing right now. When we show you, watch. Now, it says that they're going to be committing fornication with all the kingdoms of the world that are upon the face of the earth. What does this mean? We have to go to Africa and look at the number one exports of Africa, because it said the Canaanites in the last days, they're going to be raised back up, and they're going to be committing fornication with all the kingdoms of the earth to get their riches. So we're going to look at Africa's top exports to figure out what matches with the prophecy. This is going to be undeniable. The Water Dexter and Marius greatly appreciate you. How about you? Now look at this though. So they're going to go get rich off of all the kingdoms of the earth, and her merchandise, Tyre and Zidon, the Canaanites, and her hire shall be holiness to the Lord. Why? It shall not be treasured nor laid up. They're not going to be able to keep all their money. Why? For her merchandise shall be for them that dwell before the Lord, to eat sufficiently and for durable clothing. Brother Xavier, really appreciate you, King Yahweh. So what scriptures does that bring to mind? What scripture does that bring to mind? Isaiah 60, right? Now, so we have a Hamitic people, eschatological scripture, end time prophecy. They'll be forgotten. The Lord will, in the end times, after they're forgotten and not remembered, the Lord will raise them back up to commit a global network, as the brother said, or a worldwide network to get rich and opulent, right? To get wealth. And then they're not going to be able to store their treasures up forever. Their treasures will go to the Israelites. So yes, the title is right. God has Africans prostituting for Israelites. What does that mean? The fornication with all the kingdoms of the earth to get rich, only to give it to the Israelites. You understand? So we're going to go back over that, and we're going to deal with that line by line. We're going to prove who the Canaanites are over in Africa, and we're going to get into some other scriptures as well. You understand? Put them bombs in the chat. Put them bombs in the chat. We up in the Proto-Isaiah. In the Proto-Isaiah, it just, scholars believe the first 39 chapters are attributed to the prophet Isaiah. And then from 40 to 46 or 56 is another author. And then from 56 to 66 is another author. So you got the Proto-Isaiah, the Deutero-Isaiah, and the Trito-Isaiah. Do I believe that? No. I believe that he may have gotten old, and then his scribe started writing the rest of the books from the 40th chapter to the 66th chapter. But the Proto-Isaiah is so powerful. All right. It is so powerful. All praises, y'all. All praises. So let's get into this. Let's get into this. Right? Because God has these Tyrians, these Canaanites, prostituting, committing harlotry and fornication with all the kingdoms of the world to get their wealth to give it to the Israelites. Right? So let's prove that the Tyrians, Idonians are Canaanites real quick. So this is the word for Tyre in Hebrew, right? And Tyre or Tyrus. Jacob the Saint, greatly appreciate you. How about Shabakatah? Now look at this. A Phoenician city. The Phoenicians, the Tyre, the Zidonians, they're all the same. They were the people we took the land from, but we couldn't push all of them out. So some of them always dwelt with us. Always. That's a fact, right? Biblical fact and historical fact, right? So let's go to Genesis 10. Genesis 10. These are the sons of Ham. These are the sons of Ham, starting at verse 6. Canaan, right? Now let's see who Canaan begot. Canaan begot, verse 15. And Canaan begot Zidon, where you get Tyre, Zidon, the Phoenicians. So yes, these are the Canaanites. This prophecy is dealing with the Canaanites. I said Africans generally so people could understand the title of the video and the topic of the video, right? So we proved that they're Canaanites. Let's just give a little history on Tyre. Let's close out of this. Let's close out of that. And we got it in the NLT as well, so we can explain it a little differently. So Tyre, let's get into a little bit of history here, and then we're gonna get into it. Let's bring this over here. Let's bring that over here, and let's bring this over here. All right. So let's get a little bit of history on Tyre. It says Tyre, modern Arabic, all the ways to say it. Let me go in closer. Let me go in a little closer. Okay, so look at this. So Tyre built on an island, right? So it's also known as Zidon, mentioned in Egyptian records, the 14th century BCE, right? It was subject to Egypt. Tyre became independent. Influence of Phoenicia's decline. It later surpassed Sidon, all the same people, a trade center, Mediterranean. In the 9th century, the colonists from Tyre founded the North African city Carthage. Listen up close, because this is what happened when Alexander the Great conquested the Levant. When Alexander the Great conquested the Levant, he kicked them guys out of their land. That's why Isaiah 23 says, "Thou shalt not be remembered." Let's prove that real quick. What Nebuchadnezzar scattered them as well with his conquest of the Middle East. But when Alexander the Great came in, he really pushed them out of their lands. This is why you don't see no Canaanites in where they're from, which is basically Israel and surrounding areas. Lebanon, Palestine, right? No, the Palestinians, that's for the Phoenicians, the Egyptians. But Lebanon, that would be Canaanite territory. Watch this though. Zechariah 9, right? This is dealing with Alexander the Great coming through and destroying and conquesting the Levant, which is also known as the Fertile Crescent, which is also known as the Middle East. Zechariah 9:1, the burden of the word of the Lord in the land of Hadrak in Damascus, that's Syria, shall be the rest thereof, when the eyes of a man, as of all tribes of Israel, shall be toward the Lord. Why? Because when they were coming, when Alexander the Great was coming to take over the Levant, we knew the prophecies. The history says we just let them in the gates because we knew the prophecy and we weren't going to fight against the Most High God. So we let him in the gates. Therefore, Alexander did not take us into captivity. His generals did after he passed. You understand? So it says that while all this was going on, the Israelites will be looking toward the Lord. Why? Because we knew it was part of the prophecy, right? Now watch this. And Hamath also shall border thereby. Tyrus and Zidon, though it be very wise. These Canaanites were on a whole nother level when it comes to a seafaring, maritime, wealthy, distinct people group. but they would be destroyed and forgotten. And then at the end times, God would raise them back up, not under the mantle as Canaanite, but as other mantles, such as we'll get into in a second here. So watch this. And Tyrus did build herself a stronghold, because Tyrus, that city, that kingdom, was built on the water where you couldn't really attack it. You couldn't flank it. It was very hard for Alexander to destroy this place when you look at the history, but he did it. It said, and heaped the silver as the dust and the fine gold as the mire of the streets. Meaning they had so much silver and gold, it was like dirt to them. You understand? So much silver and gold, it was like dirt to them. Behold, the Lord will cast her out. Who? Tyre. And he will smite her power in the sea, and she shall be devoured with fire. That's how Alexander destroyed Tyre. Just look it up. The siege of Tyre. Ashkelon shall see it. It's another Hamite town. And fear. And Gaza shall see it. Syrians. And be very sorrowful. And Ekron. For her expectation shall be ashamed, and the king shall perish from Gaza. When you look at this king that perished from Gaza, his name was Badius. This was the man who Alexander killed, because Alexander was so frustrated because he couldn't siege Gaza like he wanted to, because there was a certain general who would be in a kingly position, and his name was Badius. And he was so mad that Badius was so resistant towards Alexander the Great's campaign that once he sieged Gaza, he tied him up, this king right here, he tied him up to 4 different horses and ripped all his body parts apart, right? And Ashkelon shall not be inhabited. You see that? So when he took over Alexander, he kicked a lot of them Hamites out of their land, scattered them, right? It said it shall not be inhabited. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod. This is a Canaanite province. Contrary to the modernization of the geographical location, that does not fit the biblical geographical location. This is Canaanite territory, right? So a bastard shall dwell there. And who do we see in the Canaanite lands in Lebanon? Arabs. Who do we see in Palestine, which is the Phoenicians' land? Goddamn Arabs. They ain't supposed to be hanging on the block, man. That's not their block, for lack of better words, right? And I will cut off the pride of the Philistines. So here's a prophecy that Lebanon and Palestine will be inhabited by other people other than its original inhabitants, right? So this is just to show you how they got kicked out. Therefore, the history states that they had to migrate because Alexander conquested and kicked them out and scattered them, right? So when we look at the history, it says in the 9th century, colonists from Tyre founded the North African city of Carthage. Now, yes, this is probably 600 years before Alexander did this, but they had another home outside of home to where if they got scattered, they'd be able to migrate to. Watch this, which later became Rome's principal rival in the West. The town is frequently mentioned in the Bible, Old and New Testament, as having the close ties with Israel. Hiram, king of Tyre, furnished buildings and materials, right? So without having to read all of this, hold on. Okay, here we go. Let's just keep going, right? So it successfully withstood a prolonged siege by Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar between 538 and 332. It was ruled by Achaemenid kings of Persia. In this period, it lost its hegemony. What does a hegemony mean? Meaning they weren't the world superpower, not even one of the world superpowers. That's what hegemony means, right? So they lost their rulership, even though they weren't completely scattered yet. This starting with Nebuchadnezzar. Phoenicia continued to flourish. Probably the best known episode to read was the resistance of the army Macedonian conqueror Alexander the Great, who took it after 7 months in a siege in 332. I just mentioned it. He completely destroyed the mainland portion of the town and used its rubble to build an immense causeway, right? After the town's capture, 10,000 inhabitants were put to death and 30,000 were sold into slavery. Alexander's causeway, which was never removed, converted the island into a peninsula, right? Tyre was subsequently under the influence of Ptolemaic Egypt. In 200, became part of the Hellenistic Seleucid kingdom. It came under Roman rule in 64 BC and was renowned in Roman times for its textiles and purple dye extracted from the sea snails of the genus Murex, which is a coralline mussel. This is where you get the royal blue from. This is how we know you're supposed to wear royal blue on your fringes, because it says it's from the coralline mussel. This is a blue that we would buy from the Phoenicians. They were the first ones to know how to make dye. And they were also the first ones selling alphabets. This is why our ancient language is also known as the Phoenician script. Am I talking good, or are you guys lost? Are you guys lost, or am I talking good? I'm trying to give you guys some background so you know who the hell the Canaanites are and where the hell they are and what the prophecy says about them. Right? So by 2nd century CE, it had a sizable Christian community, and Christian scholar Origen was buried there. Tyre was under Muslim rule from 638 to 1124. It fell to Crusaders. So we see that them people are not in their land. Them people are not in their land, right? They had to get scattered, starting with Nebuchadnezzar, but not completely until Alexander. So this is how we know that they migrated into North Africa, then further migrated to, because it says Carthage, right? Where's Carthage? Let's take a look at this for y'all that don't know. Carthage. Carthage on a map. Carthage, I said Carthage. Carthage on a map is North Africa, right? Martisi, Circe, Tawada, Sister Yahabashi Mashabakata, greatly appreciate you. Let's go to maps. Damn it. Why the hell we keep on doing this? Images. Images. So this will be right here, North Africa, bordering Algeria, Tunisia, and Libya. Now, there's not no goddamn Hamites there. This place is, by and large, Arab territory now. So what is this proving, everybody? Yes, they got kicked out of their land, the Canaanites. Yes, they went to North Africa, but from North Africa, they went to West Africa and South Africa. And we are going to prove it with history, Bible. Yeah, Hannibal of Carthage, right? Raphael, the Water King, Now, so let's close this out. We just gave you guys some history. Now let's go back to the prophecy of how God has Africans prostituting for Israelites. For those of you who are just now joining, let's give the breakdown one more time. Isaiah 23 and 15. Let's get all the way into it in the spirit, right? So let me close out it. We got Zechariah. We got Joel. We got Zechariah 9. We don't need that no more. We do have Isaiah 60. Okay, cool. So let's go back to Isaiah 23 and 15. All praise to the Most High. You guys want to go to, should we just read the whole chapter? All right, I'm going to give you guys some holy prophetic break. We're going to just do the whole chapter. Can we do the whole chapter? Or we can just skip to the part where it says the Tyrians, Zidonians are going to be committing fornication to get rich to give it to the Israelites. Should we do the whole chapter? Because there's a lot of meat in here. This might bug some of y'all out. Some of y'all need to pray for the oil. Pray for the oil right now. Pray for the anointing. Pray the Spirit illuminates your understanding. All right, y'all. I see some hungry Israelites in here who want the Holy Spirit to come sup with them and give them this breakdown in Revelation. All praises. All right, y'all. So let's do this whole chapter. It's not long. It's not long. And you guys will have the understanding of this. And we could also use this to prove that there's an ethnic hierarchy. Why is it okay for the Lord to make these nations commit fornication, this nation in particular, the Canaanites, to commit fornication with the kingdoms of the earth, get rich, only to give it to the Israelites? Is that right? Well, in a Christian's eyes, hell no. This shows you that we are God's chosen people. There's an ethnic hierarchy, and this is going to transcend even into the kingdom of heaven. I'm going to prove it. Watch. All right. Isaiah 23 and 1. Isaiah 23 and 1. The burden of Tyre. Subject matter, Tyre. How, ye ships of Tarshish. Now, I want to give you guys some history. If I'm talking too fast, say, Deacon, slow it down. I want to give you guys some history. When you see Tarshish, you have to be careful. There's a Tarshish of the Greek colonies, and then there's a Tarshish of the Hamite, the Canaanite Tyrians. So whenever you see Tarshish, don't automatically think Greece and don't automatically think Tyre. You have to go by context, all right? So Tarshish, for it is laid waste. When did this happen? This happened somewhat during Nebuchadnezzar, then Alexander the Great. It says, so there is no house, no entering in from the land of Chittim, it is revealed to them. Chittim, where is that at? That's dealing with the Greeks, right? So Alexander did come and conquer them. That's history that is given you. Now let's take a look in the NLT, right? It says, this message came to me concerning Tyre. Will ye trading ships of Tarshish? For the harbor and house of Tyre are gone. The rumors you heard in Cyprus are all true. It's dealing with Greece, right? Now watch this. It says, be still, ye inhabitants of the isle. This is dealing with the islands. Thou whom the merchants of Zidon, thou whom the merchants of Zidon that pass over the sea have replenished. Let me see. Mourn in silence, you people of the coast, and you merchants of Zidon. Your traders crossed the sea, sailed over deep waters, right? And by great waters, the seed of Sihor, I believe that's Egypt, the harvest of the river is her revenue, and she is a mart of the nations. What did I say? We're going to get into these global exports out of Africa, and we're going to prove this. I want all you naysayers. Some of these niggas said bro, Negro onlys, there's some Negro onlys that said the Native Americans are Canaanites. Well, guess what, y'all? If they don't fit this prophecy, before Christ comes back, he will raise them back up and they will get their wealth by being major exports. That ain't gonna fit the Native Americans, my nigga. You crazy as hell. So you mean to tell me Ethiopians are Hamites? Nobody would argue that. The word Ethiopia go back to what? Burnt face? And you mean to tell me the Native American? Now, this is how stupid Negro onlys are. They say, how can you guys look Negro and then say the Native Americans are your brothers when you stupid niggas will say the Ethiopians are Hamites and the Native Americans are Hamites? Two totally different looks. What the hell are you talking about? Anyway, I digress. So Isaiah 23:3. Look at this. It says, they brought you grain from Egypt and harvests from along the Nile. You were the marketplace of the world. See that? So again, Tyrians, Zidonians, they were opulent, seafaring. What does opulent mean? Just very rich, very wealthy, very renowned, the hegemony, as it's stated in the history. Right? So it says you were the marketplace of the world. And guess what? We're about to show you these Canaanites today. Somebody said this title is wild. Well, once we get down to 15, you'll see. Look at this. The brother that just came in, he said the title is wild. Look at this, brother, in the NLT. For 70 years, the length of a king's life, Tyre will be forgotten, but then the city will come back to life as in the song about the prostitute. So yeah, the Most High is pimping out these Canaanites, man. You understand? Not a literal prostitution, but look what it says. Barter and trade. Here we go, verse 17. She will again be a prostitute to all kingdoms around the world. She will again be a prostitute to all the kingdoms around the world. You understand? So that's what type of prostitution it is, not a Hamite woman laying on her back getting plowed. Okay, this is dealing with fornication as unjust bartering trade worldwide for them to become rich and successful and opulent, only to give that money to the Israelites according to the prophecy. Right? So let's keep going back. Let's I should have titled this, God is finna pimp out the Hamites for the Israelites. Now watch this. So look, so it says they were the marketplace of the world. But now, verse 4, you are put to shame, city of Zidon, for Tyre, the fortress of the sea, says, now I am childless. What is this Hebraic phraseology for being childless? When a woman is childless, what is that, everybody? when a woman is childless, how's your arm? When a woman is childish, what does that mean? Young Eli says fairy tales. Young Eli, young Eli, stick around for a minute. So after I'm done, I can put a link in the chat and you can come on here and tell us what we should be following. You can come on here and tell us what we should be following. Because he said the book is a fairy tale. I can show you your black ass coming in slavery over here from the your black ass coming to America on slavery in the Bible 2,000 years before it happened, 3,000 years before it happened. So anyway, for someone to be childless, this is a Hebraic expression of you having shame. A woman who can't have a kid, man, let me open up to you guys real quick. So my mother and her husband is getting a divorce. My mother and her husband are getting a divorce because my mother's husband wants children and my mother can't have children. It's very unfortunate. It's disheartening, but it's the truth. A man doesn't really want, especially if a man doesn't have a child, he doesn't want a woman who can't, especially if he doesn't have a child, he doesn't want to have a woman who can't give him a child. But the nigga's wrong though, because he knew my mom couldn't have kids. So I really don't fuck with the nigga. You know what I mean? But anyway, the point is being childless, not being able to have children, that is being ashamed. That is you being shunned. That is you being a disgrace, according to Hebraic thoughts. You understand? So Tyree and Zidon will become a disgrace. Yasharala Thawada, King Yahabashim Yashabrakata. So Tyree will become a disgrace. We wouldn't know who the hell the Canaanites were for a minute. See, I say this all the time. We lost our identity, but a lot of these other nations hid their identity, such as the Edomites. They tried to hide their identity and call themselves Greeks and Romans. Even the Canaanites, they're trying to hide. They did hide their identity by calling themselves other names. Now, there is people in Africa that will identify as Canaanites, but not by and large. Understand? So let's keep going. I have no sons nor daughters. Now remember, we're going to do the whole chapter. We're going to do the whole chapter. When Egypt hears the news about Tyree, they will be in great sorrow. So when Alexander would come through and destroy the Tyrians, Zidonians, Egypt will be in great sorrow. Send word now to Tarshish. Well, ye people who live in distant lands, is this silent ruin all that is left of your once joyous city? What a long history was yours. Now, I want you guys to really understand something here. The reason why scholars try to make the book of Isaiah into three parts, the Deutero-Isaiah, the Proto-Isaiah, the Deutero-Isaiah, and the Trito-Isaiah, is because they cannot understand how Isaiah called Cyrus by name 120, 30 years before he even became king in Persia, before he was born. So these scholars are saying there's no way Isaiah could have predicted the man Cyrus by name before it even happened. Somebody had to write that after Isaiah and then accredit it to Isaiah. But it's so stupid because in the Proto-Isaiah, which is from chapter 1 to chapter 39, you guys don't know that he's prophesying about what Alexander's going to do. What? So he wrote this about 740, 400 years before it happened. 740, 640, 540, 440, 330, 400 years, right? So he's writing this 400 years before Tyree even gets destroyed by Alexander. So that's a stupid logic to try to say somebody came after Isaiah to write that because he got these pinpoint accurate prophecies, when we see one right here when you guys say he wrote this. Don't make no damn sense. That is powerful. And even an atheist will tell you guys that yes, Isaiah more than likely wrote chapters 1 to 39 back in 700 to 800 BC. So even the atheist would say that. And then this dude is so cold with the Bible, what God was giving him as far as dispensing the spirit to him, and he's prophesying things 400 years before it happens, and even the nigga by his own name, Cyrus, right? I'm reading from Isaiah, sister. Isaiah chapter 23, but I'm reading in the NLT so you can understand it a little bit better, right? So now, let's keep going, y'all. So he says, who has brought this disaster on Tyre, the great creator of kingdoms? Damn. The great creator of kingdoms, right? This is how great the Canaanites were. Her traders were all princes. Her merchants were all nobles. Remember, we read in Zechariah 9 that the Tyrians, Idonians used to have silver and gold as if it were dust and dirt. The Lord of heaven's armies has done it to destroy your pride and bring low all earth's nobility. So this is why he even sent Alexander to destroy these people, to bring down their haughtiness. How much more so America? Verse 10, let's keep going. Come, people of Tarshish, sweep over the land like the flooding Nile, for Tyre is defenseless. So now this Tarshish is dealing with the Greeks. He's telling them to come and destroy Tyre. See, you Christian scholars have no goddamn clue what you're talking about. You theologians and you scholars have no clue what you are talking about. Trying to say that Isaiah couldn't have wrote the later chapters because of the pinpoint prophecies. Well, you got to deal with this right here in Isaiah 23, that the Greeks will come and destroy Tyre, and that happened. You guys want to see something? Watch this. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Let's get deep. How did he spell Isaiah? Isaiah or Isaiah? Is that how he spelled it in the Greek transliteration? Damn it. Who knows how it's spelled in the New Testament? Is it Isaiah? Who knows how it's spelled in the New Testament? Isaiah? It's okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now watch this. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Watch this. These Christians are finna get cut right now. Now watch this. Watch this. Matthew 8 and 17. Matthew 8 and 17. That it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, himself took our infirmities and bore our sicknesses. What is he quoting? He's quoting Isaiah 53, which the scholars are trying to say was not Isaiah, but Christ himself is saying it was written by Isaiah. That's a cut. That is a cut. Isaiah 53 and 8. So it says, he was cut out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. All right. It says, the seed was in his mouth and bruised him. Someone offers him his seed. Look it, for he shall bear their iniquities. By his stripes we are healed. This is all from Isaiah 53. And Christ himself said in Matthew 8 and 17 that Isaiah spoke this, not his scribes, not somebody that came after him. So I know it's hard to believe that Isaiah can have these pinpoint prophecies to make you Christian scholars be like, wow, he couldn't have did that. You guys really don't believe in the Bible. No Christians go into prophecy, right? So let's keep going. Back in Isaiah 23. So the Greeks will come destroy Tyre. Verse 11. The Lord held out his hand over the sea and shook the kingdoms of the earth. He has spoken against Phoenicia, ordering that her fortress be destroyed. Alexander did that. Look up the siege of Tyre, 332 BC. Oh, excuse me. So look what it says. He says, never again will you rejoice. You guys see this, right? Never again will you rejoice, O daughter of Zidon, for you have been crushed. Even if you flee to Cyprus, you will find no rest. Because that's what they did. They started fleeing out of the land. It says you will never again rejoice. They're going to rejoice in other places where they went, these Canaanites, which we'll show, but they will not be rejoicing in Tyre and Zidon. Again, after this happens. Verse 13. Look at the land of Babylonia. The people of the land are gone. Matter of fact, let's go to the KJV on this one. Look at this, y'all. Behold, now he's switching to Babylon, but he's going to go right back to Tyre. It says, behold, the land of the Chaldeans. This people was not until the Assyrians founded it for them that dwell in the wilderness. So this is saying that Babylon wasn't even great until they linked up with the Assyrians. Then they later took down the Assyrians, right? It says, they set up towers thereof, they raised up the palaces thereof, and he brought it to ruin. Salakia. I broke that down wrong. Salakia. Let me read that again. Behold, the land of the Chaldeans. This people was not till the Assyrian founded it for them that dwell in the wilderness. So this is talking about the Assyrians destroying Babylon. See, why didn't you Christians, how can you Christians act like it's so inconceivable to think that Isaiah can pinpoint a prophecy, and he even prophesied about the Assyria sieging Babylon, which was in 689 BC. 689 BC. Look at this. The Assyrians have handed Babylon over to wild animals of the desert. They have built siege ramps against its walls, torn down its palaces, and turned it to a heap of rubble. Let's look up the siege of Babylon. Siege of Babylon. Look at this. The siege of Babylon in 689 BC took place after Assyrian king Sennacherib's victory over the Elamites at the Battle of River Diyala, right? Diyala. So here's Isaiah predicting the siege of Babylon by the Assyrians before that happens, 689 BC. Let's keep going. So it says, how ye ships of Tarshish, verse 14 in Isaiah 23. How ye ships of Tarshish, for your strength is laid waste. So Tyre would be destroyed. Here we go. This is what we're looking for. Let's go back to the NLT because it's going to break this down properly. Isaiah 23 and 15. For 70 years, the length of a king's life. Why is it wording it like this? Why is it wording it like this? They're going to be taken out of kingship for a complete amount of time. That's it. They're going to be taken out of rulership, out of being a great people for a particular amount of time, a complete amount of time. Tyre will be forgotten. Nobody be speaking about Tyre and Zidon, right? The Phoenicians. I mean, we do, but they're not making no noise. And the world doesn't even know, can't even pinpoint who these people are. But God showed Isaiah in this end time eschatological chapter who these Canaanites would be, where they would be, and what they would be doing pre-millennium and post-millennium. But then the city will come back to life as in the song about a prostitute, right? So they're going to come back to that affluent people again. Verse 16, take a harp and walk the streets. I need one of you Christians or Hebrew Israelites who disagree with this breakdown. I need you to show me when Tyre was forgotten. Then they came back to power, a world power, to get rich off of every kingdom of the earth and then give it to the Israelites. You got to goddamn show me that. Excuse my Italian. Excuse my German. Somebody said I'm so lost. For whoever said they're so lost, brother, the Bible says the wicked won't understand. So let's keep on reading. It's like I'm playing with you, brother. I'm almost done with this. Then I'll open it up for questions. And if you have a question, Sir Robert Yasharala, huh? I can't hear you. Okay. Can she? Yeah. If you got any questions, let me know and I will answer them for you. But what we're talking about is God putting the spirit on these Hamites, these Canaanites, to commit fornication with the kingdoms of the earth, which is spiritual prostitution, and by unjust barter and trade for them to get rich and give it to the Israelites. So that's what we're talking about. That's why the title. Yes, it's not literal. I said a complete amount of time. The 70 years is not literal because nobody in history, no Hebrew scholar, no Christian scholar, no atheist scholar can show us where this happened in history an exact amount of 7 years. 70 years. It would be just a complete amount of time. So look what it says. So they're going to come back to life as in the song of a prostitute, right? Take a harp and walk the streets. You know what that is? Take a harp and walk the streets. What does that mean? A street walking hoe. God is telling the Tyrians, Idonians to be a street walking hoe. Walk the blade. As we used to call it, walk the razor blade with nothing but a Gatorade. Walk the track, as we used to call it back in my day before the truth. The Most High is a cold individual. He's telling these Canaanites to go be street hookers, basically, right? You forgotten harlot. Go be street hookers, you forgotten harlot, right? Look what it says. Somebody said, what would unjust barter and trade be? That's a good question. Me buying something for 3 cents and then selling it to you for $3,000. That's unjust barter and trade. That's just one example. Make sweet melody and sing your songs so you will be remembered again. Meaning go back to how you used to be. The marketplace for the world. The marketplace for the world. Now watch this. Here we go, verse 17. This is the last verse of the chapter, and we're going to get some more precepts. Yes, after 70 years. Human trafficking, yeah, true. True indeed. Human trafficking. But look at this. Yes, after 70 years, the Lord will revive Tyre. Nobody can show me when this happened, which is why we know 70 years is not literal here. It's just like 70 weeks in Daniel 7. That's not literal. But it says, but she will be no different. So she's going, after a certain amount of time, these Canaanites going to come back into their affluent, opulent states of wealth, right? But she will be no different than she was before. Once a goddamn Canaanite, always a Canaanite, right? Look at this. She will again, this is God speaking, she will again be a prostitute to all kingdoms around the world. This can't be taught. You got these Latino only niggas saying we're Canaanites. This can't be talking about us. We're not major exporting anything, but we're going to show you. I'm going to show you exactly who fits this prophecy, where they are and what they are doing. So whoever these Canaanites are, when they come back to power, they will be committing fornication with all the kingdoms of the world, getting rich off of worldwide exports. But in the end, here we go. So they're going to get rich again. But in the end, her profits will be giving to the Lord. Her wealth will not be hoarded up, but will provide good food and fine clothing for the Lord Yahweh's priests. Get them more. Of course, this is the Israelites, the nation of kings and priests. So the riches that these Canaanites are getting right now by way of global exports will be given to the Israelites now, pre-millennium, and post-mill. You understand? Let's prove that. Isaiah 60. First, we're going to get Isaiah 60. And it says, thy gates, let's go to verse 9. Surely the owl shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from afar. Who's the ships of Tarshish? Tyre. Tyre. Look what it says. Well, ye ships of Tarshish. Whoo. You guys don't want these breakdowns, man. Isaiah 60 and 9. Surely the owl shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from afar, their silver and their gold with them. You understand that? That's a precept to Isaiah 23. All of that money these Canaanites are getting from fornication from the kingdom, all kingdoms of the world, will be coming to the Israelites. You understand? Right when the kingdom starts. And thereafter. You understand? And these other nations are going to come too. This is why it says in verse 11, therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day or night, that the men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and their kings may be brought. So they all gonna bring, them scamming Hamites, all them scammers. You know, you done got your account hacked by a nigga telling you that he's feeling generous, give you a cash app. Those are all goddamn Canaanite scammers, man. You understand? Now watch this. So with that being said, let's see who fits the prophecy. The Canaanites will be, before the Lord comes, they will be just as they were before, and she will again be a prostitute to all kingdoms of the world, getting all their wealth from global export. Now watch this, y'all. Oh, this is a cut. This is top 10 exporting countries in Africa. Top 10 exporting countries in Africa. Because we know the Canaanites will be in the land of Ham. They're from Ham. Now let's look at top 10 exporting countries in Africa. I want you guys to see this, right? Y'all ready? Because you got to prove the Bible with history, with other sources as well. That's how you prove the Bible. You can go in the Bible to prove the Bible, yes. But what makes it better, it gives it more validity, more credence, more substantial, is how you couple it with extra biblical sources, as we call it, outside biblical sources. Top 10 exporting countries in Africa. Let's see where the Canaanites are today, because they're going to have to fit this right here. They're going to have to fit this. So watch this, y'all. 10. At number 10 is Ghana. I want you guys to keep this in mind, because mostly our people are in Ghana. Yes, mostly our people are in Ghana, but not all. I want to show you guys something, though. They're at 11 billion. They're at 11 billion in exports. Keep that number in mind, y'all. Y'all finna get this oil today. Tunisia, these are the Arabs. Arabs took over some Hamite countries. That's North Africa. We went over that earlier. The place where the Israelites are the most is only 11 billion. I want you to keep this in mind. So Tunisia, Arabs in Africa, they're at 14 billion. Libya, Arabs in Africa, they're at 17 billion. Morocco, Arabs in Africa, they're at 25 billion. Egypt, Arabs in Africa. Ishmael is a goddamn devil. What the fuck? But God did promise that Ishmael would be successful. But by way of the Islamic conquest, how the hell you guys get all this Hamitic land, and now you guys are the major exports in the land? Now watch this, y'all. Verse 5, Angola. Angola is Hamites. That's 34 billion. I told you to keep that in mind. Who fits these prophecies, man? This is why niggas need to shut the hell up about color. Shut up about color. We mix with Canaanites. We mix with Canaanites. Some of them may look like us. You niggas need to shut the hell up about color. It's about prophecies and curses. That's what it's about. So we got the Hamite, we got the Canaanites, right? By and large in Angola, 34 billion, as opposed to where most of the Israelites are is only 11 billion. But watch this. Algeria, this is Arabs, 35 billion. Nigeria, where most of the damn Canaanites are, and we're going to prove that. Nigeria, where most of the Canaanites are, 44, almost 46 billion. Almost 46 billion, where most of the Canaanites are, as opposed to where most of the Israelites are, 11 billion. Look at God. Oh, we love him. Oh, we love the Most High. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse, y'all. So we got Nigeria, where most of the Canaanites are, 44 billion. Now watch this, though. Guinea. Hold on. 62 billion. You can't get around that. 62 billion. A majority Hamitic Canaanitish people. But here goes the coldest part, because we always taught that South Africans, here goes number one. We always taught that a lot of the Canaanites went to South Africa. We always taught that a lot of the Canaanites went to South Africa. 88 billion. 88 billion. I'm going to say it again. 88 billion. So the prophecy, according to prophecy, this would have to be, and we could prove that they even confess that they're Canaanites in some of these places. They don't have our Hebraic traditions or customs, and then they oppress the Israelites that are there. Let's prove that even more. Watch this. So we got Angola at 34 billion. Nigeria, 44 billion. Guinea, 62 billion. And South Africa, 88 billion. And then here's where most of the, and then you look at the Ivory Coast as well. They're about 10, 11 billion. Compared to where most of the Israelites are, 11 billion. Look at the paling in comparison here. So according to the Bible, the Canaanites would be major world exports, and that would be their primary way of wealth in the end times. Logically deducing with other proof that this is where the Canaanites are, the South Africans, Guinean, Nigerian. Of course, not all, not absolute, but by and large, because we know some of our tribes are here being oppressed by these people. Let's prove that, right? Let's prove that. Now, one of the richest Africans, or Hamites rather, in Africa, one of the richest Hamites in Africa. Let me word it like that. Patrice Motsepe, right? He is South African, I believe. Yeah, South African. One of the richest so-called Africans. Proving our point that this would be who the Bible says the Canaanites are. That TV show, Rich Africans. That TV show, Rich Africans. You want to look that up. A lot of them Canaanites on there, waxing rich. Right? Now look like this. Somebody said Hamites look like aliens. I know, man. This waterhead dude. So let's get another one. Watch this though, y'all. Aliko Dongare, right? He is a Nigerian businessman. And he's worth 14 billion. He's the wealthiest person in Africa, I believe. The wealthiest person in Africa. Now, I want you guys to see something here. I want you guys to see something. The Nigerians rank number 3 at 44 billion on the global exports. One of them is the richest. On top of that, one of them is the richest person in Africa. And let's take a look at what tribe he's from in Nigeria. Look at this. Dungade was born in Kano State into a wealthy Hausa family. The Hausa tribe. Do you guys know about the Hausa tribe? These are a tribe of Canaanites in Nigeria. Now look at this. They are oppressing the people of Yoruba. This is a cut. Look at this. Yoruba race under siege from Tanko. One second, y'all. Salakia. One second, Salakia. Salakia, y'all. My bad. All right. So now watch this, y'all. Cold turkey, right? This guy, a Nigerian, who they're top 3 in African exports at 44 billion. He's known as the richest, wealthiest person in Africa, a part of the Hausa tribe. And it just so happens that the Hausa tribe are oppressing the Yoruba. Look at this. It says Yoruba race under siege from Tanko, Yakasai, and Hausa Fulani hegemonic oppressors by Bayo Alawasanmi, whatever that means. See, so they're over there oppressing our Yoruba brothers, right? Who are known, the Ashanti, the Yoruba, they're known to be Israelites. This is a fact, right? So we see these Canaanites over there oppressing our brothers over there. So again, it's not about phenotype and color and outward appearance, physicality, being carnal minded. It's looking in the spirit. Who fits the prophecies? Who's under the curses? Who keeps the customs and traditions? That's how we identify who the Israelites are. You understand? So, so going back here, yes, the Most High said he will revive. Look at this, verse 17. The Lord said he will revive the Tyrians. So he's doing this. He's allowing these Nigerians, South Africans, these Canaanites to be opulent and rich and wealthy again. He's doing that in order for them to commit fornication or be prostitutes to all the kingdoms of the world, so that her profits will be given to the Lord by way of their riches being given to us. And we substantiated that with Isaiah chapter 60. All right. So that's pretty much all I got for y'all as far as that topic goes. I hope, Lord willing, it was edifying. Powerful prophecies going into history, things that already happened in Isaiah 23, and then things that must happen in Isaiah 23. So I'm going to open it up for questions, comments, and the smoke. I'm going to open it up for questions, comments, and the smoke. Young Eli, click the link so you can come on here and you could get the business real quick. So you can come on here and get the business real quick. Hosanna. Where you get the headscarf at? Hit me up. We'll get the Ebos too. I forgot to mention the Ebos, Salakia. The Ebos, Ashanti, Yoruba. There's other tribes that we know are Israelites, but those are the more well-known ones. All right. So do I have a percentage? No, I don't have a percentage. You got to look at again who's keeping the customs, who's being oppressed. Not everywhere in Africa, but where we're known to have come from, where we are known to have settled, and where we're known to have come from. Zechariah 11 and 13. Let me get Ariel. Ariel to see her. Shalom, brother. What's going on?
Shalom, Ma.
Talk to me, King. What's going on?
Man, I had a question about the Sabbath being on the 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd, the 29th, right?
Go ahead.
I was asking the brother, could he show how that works on the 7 candlesticks? Because when I read the scripture, it says that every evening until the morning that the candles should be lit. And some brothers say, well, we don't light the menorah on the day of the new moon, the first day of the month. So I was just wanting to get your take on that. How does that 8th day of the month work with the menorah?
It's very simple because it's a weekly cycle within the month. The weeks are confined to the month, but it's still a weekly cycle within the month.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, because if we light the menorah every day, and even on the day of the new moon, the first day we light that menorah, then I'm just saying, how does it look since we only have 7 lamps on the candlestick, and we have the 8th day being the Shabbat?
And that's
so.
Yeah, so your concept of a day, it may be why you're conflating or convoluting things. The 8th day would turn into the first day, and you light your menorah. So I'm confused what your question is, but because I
understand.
You gotta package your question a little bit better, and then present it. All right, but let me get the next one on. You want to try it one more time?
Yeah, because I understand the evening, right? I understand, what I'm saying, because I'm not dealing with, like when the day starts.
You believe the day starts morning to night?
Morning, the day starts in the morning at the right towards the rising of the sun. But I'm not dealing with that. I'm saying is when the candles should be lit.
Okay,
because every day consists of a day and a night.
Explain to me when the candle should be lit. Then you explain it to me. Okay. Let me get somebody on here. Somebody else on here. Biblical Smoke.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on? You remember me, right?
No, what's your question?
You don't? All right, that's fine. All right, so listen.
Pop Bloke.
From the UK, yeah, I'm from the UK. Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Pop Bloke, what's going on?
No, I'm not Pop Bloke. I'm Bible Smoke, the other guy. So, listen, let me ask you a question, right? You believe? Listen, yeah. You believe the United States is Mystery Babylon, correct?
Yes.
And you believe that Black, Spanish, and Native American people are Northern and Southern Kingdom Israelites in a Babylonian captivity, correct?
Not Spanish. You got to get it correct.
Okay, so you believe? Okay, but
hey, hold on, brother. Let me answer your question. The so-called Negro, so-called Latino, and so-called Native American. Now proceed.
Okay, thank you for that correction. Okay, so you believe they're in a Babylonian captivity, though, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I did some reading of Revelation, and I think if you read it properly with comprehension, you can easily understand that the USA is not Mystery Babylon, and I'll explain. So,
Okay.
when it talks about Mystery Babylon, the woman sitting on the water, it gives some descriptions of what the place is like, and I'll read a few passages real quick. So, Revelation 17 and 18, and the woman you saw is that great city which reigns over the kings of the earth. 18 and 10, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city. 18 and 16, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen. 18 and 18, what is like this great city? 18 and 19, alas, alas, that great city. 18 and 21, thus with great violence, that great city, Babylon, shall be thrown down. So it's definitely been translated in English as a city, okay? Now, I wanted to double check to make sure that I was, making sure that it was correct. So I went and used your tool, the Blue Letter Bible, the lexicon tool, and I looked at the Greek word that was there for each one of these passages. And the Greek word was polis, okay? That is the Greek word for every single definition, right? Now, according to the Strong's definition, it is that strong polis is known as a town, properly with walls of greater or less size, city, okay? It's in the King James Version 164 times, and each time it's translated as city. And the biblical usage, okay, all 6 of the biblical usages, all of them imply it to a city, every single one. So it's without doubt that Mystery Babylon the Great is a city.
Okay.
It is
What
not.
city is
Go
it?
ahead.
What city is it?
No. I didn't tell you what city it was. You said that Babylon is the USA.
Okay, so I'm asking you, brother, if I'm wrong, what city is it?
No. But I don't need to answer what city it is, because
Okay.
if I tell you the truth, I can't say for sure what I know definitely what city it is. But it
Okay.
is definitely not the United States of America, which means, Deacon Hakar,
Oh
that
my
you are not in a Babylonian captivity.
Oh my goodness.
Correct?
Okay, so let me tell you something, brother, and I want you to use this. There's a phrase called context supersedes etymology. All right, and you should apply that in your methodology of hermeneutics, because you're getting hinged up on what is context supersede etymology. It means you're taking a word, and just because of that one word, you're building a premise on it instead of and you're excusing the very context around the word, the pericope as they call it. The fact that we know Babylon is a kingdom because it is ruling over all the other kingdoms of the earth.
How
It's
do you know it's a kingdom?
it's because of the whole context.
Where does it say Mystery Babylon is a kingdom?
I said, if you read the context, it doesn't say a kingdom.
No. Where is the biblical proof that it's a kingdom? Because I just presented to you numerous passages that stated it's a city. Then I presented to you Greek,
Bible
the
smoke.
Greek translation telling you it's a city.
What did I just say? Did I say you're banking on one word, the city, and you are excusing the whole context of the book of Revelation?
Okay, no, go ahead. You talk. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay, so the very fact that, okay, watch this. Revelation 17 and 1. And there came to me 7 angels, who the kings of a horse sitting on many waters, right? With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication with. And you're saying that this is an actual city, but you're scared to say what city it is because you're going to get destroyed if you do that. So let's keep going.
Hold up. I didn't tell you I was scared to say what city it is.
Okay, then tell me what city it is so I can.
I told you I am not sure for certain.
Okay, got you. Now, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunken with the wine of her fornication. So all the inhabitants of the earth have been drunken with the wine of her fornication. The her is the same as Mystery Babylon, which is the same as the great city. And you're saying that this is Dallas, Texas?
Memphis, did I say it was Dallas, Texas? When did I say that?
Let's keep going. So he carried me away into the wilderness, and I saw a woman This woman is the same as Mystery Babylon. Sit on a
Correct.
scarlet colored beast. What city is sitting? What does this beast represent here? What is the beast?
No. See, this is the problem now. You're about to take me down a passage of your understanding with all these other
biblical smoke, biblical smoke, biblical smoke. I let you give your whole dissertation on, oh, it says city. This is what a city means. This is that. Now let me do the same. You tried to walk me down. So now you're about to get walked down. Don't get scared now. All right, let's keep going. So back in Revelation 17, what is the beast system that this city is sitting on?
Do you not realize that based off this reading comprehension, your understanding of that concept is wrong? You're talking about this is what the beast is, and this is the beast that's sitting on. This is the Roman Empire. This is that. You don't realize your doctrine falls. Your doctrine falls when you read it properly.
Biblical smoke. If you can't answer a simple question, we're done here, brother. That's it. So you want to be done because I'm gonna have a great day. It's Taco Tuesday. I'm thinking about it right now. A place called the Matador. They got 50% off of top shelf tequila. I'm gonna be taking advantage of that 1942. I'm gonna be taking advantage of that Azul. I'm gonna be taking advantage of that Casamigos because it's 50% off. I'm gonna get 5 street tacos. I might even get 5 street tacos to go. So I'm gonna have a good night tonight. Do you want to continue this conversation or do you want to have a good night?
Yo, just give me what? What you say, mate? Nah, I ain't got nothing, bro. Some guy's trying to buy some drugs off me, bro. Nah, I ain't got nothing, bro. I'm just talking on the phone.
Oh, somebody's trying to buy some drugs off you.
Trying to buy some drugs off me. Just hold tight one sec. Now, bro, I ain't got nothing.
He's caught. You're a drug dealer, and you're trying to say he's not a drug dealer because he's live on camera right now. Anyway, so he got caught. He was on the block dealing nickel packs, and he tried to act like, "Hey, bro, I don't got nothing right now. I ain't got nothing right now." Anyway, let me before I get my shot on, let me bring this out real quick. Somebody asked about Zechariah 11 and 13. So Zechariah told us that he needed money. He said, I need some money before I prophesy to you guys. He said, before I continue to prophesy, I need some money. So they gave him 30 pieces of silver, and the Lord told him to give it to the potter's house, which is just a storehouse in the temple. That's all that means. Then somebody said, can you explain the 3 days and 3 nights resurrection for me? It's not literally 3 days and 3 nights, because after 72 hours, your body starts to decay. And we know the prophecy says that the Messiah's body would not see decay. So it's just being in the ground for 3 days, which he was the 14th, 15th, and the 16th. All right, Masha, you're live right now.
What's going on with you, my brother?
What's going on? Jalen Howard, the Water King. Oh, appreciate it, brother. He said from the tacos. The Water King. How about you? Go ahead, brother. Question, comment, or smoke?
Oh man, I just got a question, man. You know, we're doing Top Rope Brews tonight over there. On that channel. I try and see you come through.
What time?
Be about 9 Eastern, 8 our time. Think y'all like 2 hours behind us, so about 6 o'clock your time.
Yeah, possibly. You got me on Instagram?
No, I ain't even on Instagram.
Yeah, if you hit me on Instagram or Facebook, let me know. I'll be at my son's football practice, but I could possibly hop on from my phone and earphones for a second.
All right, bet.
All right, bet. Shalom, brother.
All right, shalom.
Oh, praise. Okay. So I got another link in the chat. Put another link in the chat. I am so hungry, y'all. I am starving right now. All right, Pablo, did you sell that nickel bag?
I don't sell no things. Some guys trying to just come at me. You know how it is in the hood. Motherfuckers just walk over saying crazy stuff. But anyway, back to what you were saying. Back to what you were saying.
All right,
back
cool.
to what you were saying.
So, all praises. So we're the whore, which you say is a literal city, is riding a beast system. Can you tell us what this beast system is that this city is riding?
I believe from what I've seen of your videos that you associate the Roman Empire as basically the stem off of many beasts.
I'm not saying what I believe. I'm asking you what,
Okay.
because you think my breakdown is faulty. So we're trying
What
to
do
get
I believe? Listen to what I'm saying. Based off my reading of Revelation, I can't definitively say what I know the beasts are, what each horn represents, other than when it gives a proper description of what it is. Like if it says the water is the people, for example, then I can go off that.
Okay. So you believe this woman is a literal city, and you don't know what the beast system is, and the woman was arrayed in purple and decked with gold, right? And upon her head was written Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of all harlots and abominations of the earth. So when we deal with harlotry, we just did a whole lesson today where Tyrians, Idonians are a kingdom of people also called harlots. So how is this indicative of some literal city here? And I know. Am I lying right now? Are you leaning more towards Mystery Babylon being Vatican City? Am I lying?
No, I would either say it would be either the Vatican City or somewhere in the Middle East, because it strongly depicts a lot of the merchant activity, a lot of the things being bought and sold, and some of the things they describe. I don't think people of the earth will be buying them from the Vatican personally. But like I already said, I can't definitively say what the city is, but what you need to understand is it's not the USA though. You agree with me now that the USA is not Babylon, correct?
No, I'm not. Brother, I've been teaching this for 14 years. You think you're just going to come on there and make me agree with you?
Do you agree that Babylon is not the USA, or do you still think it is the USA?
Babylon is emphatically America. So let me keep going.
Wait. So the United States of America, in your belief, is the entirety of the United States is Mystery Babylon, even though it clearly states as a city in the Greek translation.
The city. Mate, chill.
Now, see, now you're trying to make fun of me for being English, right? But I thought you were pro-Israelite, brother. I thought if you're making fun of me for my Hellenistic identity, you're not being pro-Israel. I thought you was a leader of this nation, bro. I thought you was an elect, brother.
Can I finish? Thank you. So where is the Southern Kingdom at right now?
The Southern Kingdom, from my understanding of secular information, because you couldn't use the Bible to definitively say where they are. I think a lot of them got sent into Portuguese and Spanish settlements in West Africa.
Okay, where's the Northern Kingdom?
Slave owners.
Where's the Northern Kingdom?
Well, the 10 tribes got scattered, all over the place.
So they're all over the place. Okay, so verse 6. Let's keep this in mind. You said it's the Middle East or the Vatican. Verse 6.
But I didn't say that I 100% think that. I said that's a theory. That's what I think it is.
Okay, well, let's test your theory. Well, let's test your theory. Verse 6.
Well, what about your theory, bro? Your theory is it's a country, and it doesn't say what is the word for nation in the Greek?
Let's test both of our theories right now.
Does it say the word ethnos when it talks about Babylon? It doesn't say ethnos. It says polis. Okay, so I don't see how you can make the assertion it's a nation, bro. You've been teaching this for what, 14 years, and you've never read it properly to think maybe this is not the United States because it clearly says it's a city.
Correct. Now, when it says the woman is the city, right? Okay. Was drunken with the blood of the saints. So let's test my theory and let's test your theory. I believe the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom are over here, and I can prove that with history, archaeology, and prophecy. And America has drunken off of our blood by the genocide against the Native American and Latinos and the genocide against the Negroes. Now, can you show me how the Middle East was drunken with the blood of the Israelites, or the Vatican was drunken with the blood of the Israelites?
Well, how do you know where all the Israelites are in the world? Because you didn't probably know this, but my dad's Black American, okay? So based off your tribe chart system, I would be of the tribe of Judah, but you wouldn't think that me being in the UK. So how do you know where all the Israelites really have been scattered? You don't think there's Israelites in the place like the Vatican or in the Middle East?
By and large, we are scattered everywhere, but the prophecy states that the house of Israel and the house of Judah, inferring majority of us, will be in the land of the north, will be in Mystery Babylon at the arrival of Christ. So I'm
Right, but
asking you, where in the hell in the Middle East are the blood of the northern, they're committing genocide on the northern kingdom and southern kingdom, or where in the Vatican have they committed genocide on the northern kingdom and southern kingdom? The floor is yours.
thank you. But see, the question you just asked me was a conflation of assertions. Okay, you just said based off the prophecy that the northern and southern kingdom are going to be in Mystery Babylon. But where does it say that? That's a conflation of multiple passages in your assertions. And you're asking me as if it's a fact. You're asking me like, this is what it is. So what's your response to that?
Okay.
I'm telling you openly that when I tell you I'm not sure of something, it's because I'm genuinely not sure. But when I read something, I definitively take it as what it is. You're the one who's got all the assertions and these things.
Cool. Okay, cool. So you agree that the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom were not in ancient Babylon together, right?
Wait, I didn't say that.
So you believe the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom were in ancient Babylon together?
In ancient, you mean Nebuchadnezzar's Babylon?
Yeah.
No, well, no, not really, because the Assyrians took the northern kingdom away.
All praises.
So, and obviously Nebuchadnezzar came for Judah. So I wouldn't say that, no.
Now, I'm going to show you that Jeremiah, Isaiah prophesied about a modern day Babylon, which Revelation is talking about, that both kingdoms will be at. Jeremiah 50:1.
But the thing is, Deacon, before you go into it though, bro, you're like, it's like you won't accept the fact that the passage clearly says it's a city, and you just won't accept the fact that by basic reading comprehension, that cancels out an entire nation being Mystery Babylon the Great. It cancels the whole thing out, and you're trying to build your whole argument based on that it's still the USA.
No, I'm building my whole argument on the context of Revelation. You're building your whole argument on one word. That's why I said context supersedes.
Yeah, and that's the only word that is used to describe Babylon. That's the only word.
And that's your flaw, and that's not proper hermeneutic.
No, it's your flaw. It's your flaw. You think I've been teaching this for 14 years and I've been this. You're in a cult, okay?
Right.
You're in a cult system.
You're right. Can I read?
You're in a cult system, and you get handed down doctrine, okay?
Cool.
And you're very confident and very arrogant in your belief. But when you read it properly for yourself, I feel like you just can't accept, maybe I'm flawed in.
Pop bloke. I'm going to mute you real quick, and then I'm going to unmute you in a second. Jeremiah 50 is to a prophecy against Babylon. And when we read verse 4, in those days and in that time, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together. Going and weeping, they shall go and seek the Lord their God. You just admitted and cut your own self like Cheddar Bob shot the shit out of yourself that the northern kingdom was not in ancient Babylon. Jeremiah is prophesying about a Babylon where both kingdoms will be in. My nigga, you're through. Answer this question so we can go ahead and get your ass out of here.
Am I unmuted?
You're unmuted now. Explain to me
how. That's a very disrespectful way again to talk someone who's a fellow Israelite. That's a very disrespectful way. But I expect that kind of disingenuousness from you. Okay. Now, when it talks about Babylon in Jeremiah.
Hold on. You just said I was in a cult. You just said I was in a cult. So don't be a crybaby when I throw it back at you. So answer the question.
Hello. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's not differ on that, okay? But when it talks about Babylon in Jeremiah, okay, why do you think that's not talking about the Babylon that Nebuchadnezzar was the king of at one time? Because I heard what you said. Because you're saying the northern and southern kingdom Israel.
My nigga. You just sat up here and said the northern kingdom was not in ancient Babylon. I read you a verse that said the northern kingdom and southern kingdom would be in a Babylon. Now you're asking me, well, why can't it be ancient Babylon? My nigga, because you said it wasn't there. I gotta let you go, brother. Shalom. All right, let me put another link in the chat. Got a little bit longer. I got a little bit more bullshit to handle. I got a little bit more bullshit that I can deal with before I gotta get up out of here. Click the link in the chat. Mm-hmm. Why? Salakia, y'all. Uriel Yasharal the Water King, y'all, Bashim Shabakata. Somebody said, you got a question about the cockatrice. Go ahead, brother. How can Paul be without the law when he was raised a Pharisee? Romans 7:9. For I was alive without about once. What scripture are you referring to? Teach one, reach one. What scripture are you referring to? Where's the commentary? Look up Isaiah 14:29 commentary on the cockatrice. Why don't I subscribe to Enoch? Because we can't find any ancient manuscripts that can substantiate the pseudo English book that we have today. Yes, Deshaun Dillard, Ancient Nineveh. Also, too, in the book of Enoch, a lot of the doctrines from there. Somebody said not good enough. What? Let me tell you guys this, bro. You know what? Click the link, brother. Let's have a peaceful dialogue. I got some questions. Click the link. He said not good enough. Brother, with all due respect, you trust the white man so much. Let me show you how stupid that is. Not you, brother. You're not stupid. You're not stupid at all. You're not stupid. You're not stupid. I'm gonna wait. He's gonna click the link. Watch this, y'all. I'm gonna show you how much niggas worship the white man. I'm gonna show you guys. My lips are so dry. I need some chapstick. Where you at, brother? Let's do it. Sham Shwan, yes. There are some fragments found in the Dead Sea Scrolls of the Book of Enoch, but only fragments, not this whole compiled book that the white man mysteriously printed in the 1800s. Jaylon Johnson, because they're mad that the Negro onlys are calling them Spaniards. It's just a reaction. Trying to use the link. Then click the link. Somebody named Alley Cat the Man. Alley Cat the Man You gotta allow your mic and stuff because it says device not connected. So go out and come back in. Ariah Israel. Let me show you guys how much um, he worships the white man. Let me show you guys how much he worships the white man. Ariah Israel. Watch this, y'all. Ariah Israel. Who wrote the book of Enoch? Watch this, man. Sometimes I be thinking a nigga's finna come with something. You know, you accidentally knock a nigga out with a jab. You'd be like, dude, I knocked this nigga out. I didn't even mean to. Who wrote the book of Enoch? Ariah Yisrael. Who wrote the book of Enoch? Moses wrote Enoch. Prove it. Prove Moses wrote Enoch. Sarah was not Abraham's real sister. Abraham lied to that Hamite king because he wanted to rape his wife. So he said, nah, that's my sister. Hit my email up, brother. Hit my email. SakariSeattle@gmail.com. I got another question for this brother. If we had the Bible, watch this, y'all. If we had the Bible without any Dead Sea Scrolls, if all we had is the English Bible that the white man printed, and we had no Dead Sea Scrolls, Greek Septuagint or Masoretic text, or Codex Sinaiticus or Textus Receptus, ancient manuscripts substantiating that they really did translate this English from the Hebrew and the Greek. If we didn't have those ancient manuscripts and all we had was this printed version from the white man, could we really take this as valid? Could we really take this as substantial evidence that the original author said this without being able to go to the ancient manuscripts and prove it? You got fragments from the Qumran cave. Anyway, bro, keep believing in Enoch and mermaids and 4,500 foot niggas, and keep worshiping the white man, bro. You're out of here. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna end this. I put the link in the chat. He's talking about he's trying to use the link. He don't want to click the link because come on here and his wife gonna slap the hell out of him and say, "Why'd you go on there messing with the deacon? Get your black ass over. Pull him by the ear. Get your black ass over here." Yeah, click the link real quick, bro. You'll be the last person. Hurry up though. Just click the link. It's very simple. I need some food in my system. He's pump faking like a young Aikman. Pump faking like a young Aikman. Where does it in the Bible does it says Egypt is within Ham area? Psalms. Psalms chapter 105, verse 23. It says, Then Israel entered Egypt. And Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham. All right, well. All right, brother. We'll get you next time then. All praises. So, y'all, we're going to end this by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. And we do so by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai. Yeah, we'll end this by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai. We're live again tomorrow if it be the Lord's will. And I'm finna go eat. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Until next time, y'all, call all Yahweh by Hashem HaMashiach Yahushai. Shalom.